Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Sophia, your flight attendant guide, and after 15 years of living in the sky, I've seen exactly what happens when your perfectly packed carry-on meets the modern airport security system. Today's video is crucial and it's titled 2025 Carry-On Rules Exposed. Why your bag will be flagged. Your outside don't get delayed. Now I know what you're thinking. Carry-on rules? I know the 311 liquid rule. I know the size limits. What else could possibly flag my bag? Honey, if it were that simple, I wouldn't need an entire video to explain it. The rules haven't just changed. The technology has. And that is what's catching people off guard, causing agonizing delays and risking missed flights. What if I told you that your beautifully organized packing cubes are actually the reason your bag gets pulled for a secondary search? Did you know that the newest 3D scanning technology can spot a stray battery or an energy drink tucked inside a dense sweater and flag it instantly? Are you carrying that perfectly legal souvenir you bought abroad, unaware that its composition looks suspiciously like a banned item to the new scanners? And what about the quiet, creeping enforcement of rules around the weight and size of bags that we, the flight crew, are being told to enforce more strictly than ever before at the gate? The simple truth is, your bag is no longer just being looked at, it's being analyzed. The biggest threat to your smooth transit is no longer breaking a known rule. It's density, clutter, and opacity. These are the silent, unspoken reasons your bag gets pulled off the conveyor belt and sent to the search table. In this video, I'm pulling back the curtain and exposing the 6 major reasons your carry-on bag will be flagged by 2025 security systems. I'll share the exact packing methods you need to adopt to become invisible to the scanners, and give you the insider tips on how to prepare your bag for the gate agent scrutiny that is only going to get tougher. By the end of this, you'll know how to pack your bag so cleanly and efficiently that you will glide through TSA like the travel pro you are. But first, if you want more honest, unfiltered travel advice and the secrets I've picked up from 15 years in the aisle, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. Your support helps me keep these essential travel tips coming. And don't forget to ring the notification bell. I also want to hear from you. What's the weirdest item that ever got your bag pulled for a search? Drop a comment below. I read every single one, and your experience might be the inspiration for my next deep dive. Ready to pack smart and stop getting flagged? Let's expose the rules. Flag risk 1, the density disaster, the cube conundrum. This is the #1 reason bags get pulled by the new generation of CT scanners, the ones that create a 3D image of your bag's contents. The rule we're exposing. Density equals suspicion. The new 3D scanners are brilliant, but they are looking for clear, distinct layers and shapes. When you use 3 or 4 beautifully packed compression or regular packing cubes, you are creating large, solid blocks of dense, tightly packed fabric and clothing. To the machine, these solid blocks of density are impenetrable and look exactly like a large, solid mass that could be concealing something dangerous. The machine flags this instantly because it can't see the individual items clearly. My anecdote. A frequent business traveler who prided himself on his hyper-efficient packing cubes was always getting flagged. When he asked an agent, the agent explained, "Sir, your bag looks like a brick. Everything is packed so tightly and uniformly that we have to open it up to confirm those dense squares are just clothes." He was efficient, but he was creating an unnecessary security risk simply by being too neat. Sophia's fix, the layering method. Use soft-sided packing cubes and don't overstuff them to the point of creating a solid brick. Better yet, use a layering and scattering approach. Layer clothes flatly on one side of the bag. Place hard, chunky items like shoes or electronics on top of the clothes, not buried deep. And when you pack, ensure there is some airspace or soft material around denser objects to reduce that solid mass effect. The scanners want to see through your clothes, not treat them as a shield. Flag risk 2, the battery bomb, laptops, and lithium. The rules around lithium-ion batteries, the kind in your laptop, power bank, and camera, haven't changed, but the enforcement and detection technology have become hypersensitive. The rule we're exposing. Laptops and power banks are now considered primary flag risks. The 311 rule is for liquids. The big battery rule is a primary concern for fire safety. TSA wants those items in your carry-on, not your checked luggage, because if they combust, the crew can put the fire out in the cabin. The risk now is that the advanced scanners are specifically trained to look for the distinct shape and density of large lithium cells. If they see a thick, dense power bank tangled in a mess of charging cables, they will flag the whole bag just to confirm it's not an improvised device. Sophia's fix: the clear pouch and separation. Your laptop and tablet must be taken out unless you are in an airport with the newest CT scanners that allow them to stay in, and even then, I say take them out to be safe. But here is the secret for power banks and cables. Separate them immediately. Put all your charging cables, bricks, and power banks into a single, clear zippered pouch. This pouch should be easily accessible right on top of your clothes or in an external pocket. When the agent asks you to pull out your electronics, you can grab the laptop and the clear pouch instantly. The clear bag instantly shows the agent the item is what you say it is, a clump of harmless charging gear. Flag risk 3, the clutter conundrum, the black hole effect. This is the reason for the slowest searches, the ones where the agent literally empties your entire bag onto the table. The rule we're exposing: clutter is opaque. Opacity requires physical search. When you pack everything randomly, cables, snacks, pens, random souvenirs, toiletries, all jammed together, the X-ray image becomes a confusing jumble of overlapping shapes. This is known as the black hole effect. The scanner cannot distinguish between benign shapes and dangerous items because everything is layered and clumped together. The machine's AI cannot process the overlapping data and defaults to a red flag. My anecdote: I watched a gentleman in a full suit get his bag pulled. He was delayed for 15 agonizing minutes because an agent had to unpack his carry-on completely. Why? He had packed a bottle of vitamins, a bag of trail mix, a thick book, and a cluster of coins all right next to his electronics. The agent said, "The combined density and multiple organic metallic overlaps forced the computer to call for a physical inspection." The moral of the story: your clutter is the scanner's confusion. Sophia's fix: zone defense. Dedicate separate zones for different types of items. Hard items, shoes, toiletries. Go on one side of the bag or the bottom. Soft items, clothes, sweaters, the middle layer. Flat items, laptop, books, paperwork, the back sleeve. Organic items, snacks, meds, in a clear pouch right on top or easily accessible. The cleaner the organization by type, the less likely the overlapping clutter will trigger a flag. Flag risk 4. The organic obscurity, snacks and souvenirs, food and certain non-hazardous souvenirs are notorious flag risks because of their organic composition. The rule we're exposing: organic mass is a high-risk density signal. Any organic material, food, powders, dense spices, or even soap, has a unique density profile that the scanners use to identify explosives. That beautiful block of artisanal cheese you bought at the market, that dense bag of gourmet coffee beans, that jar of thick peanut butter that sneaked past the 311 check, they all register as a dense organic mass that looks suspicious to the machine. Sophia's fix: the pull-out pouch. Always pack all dense organic non-liquid items together in a single clear or light-colored pouch. When you are going through security, pull this pouch out and place it in a separate bin, just as you would your liquids or your laptop. This allows the agent to immediately look at the item and clear it without having to call for a full bag inspection. This includes thick protein bars, blocks of cheese, large bags of nuts, and any dry spice mixes. The simple act of separating it drastically reduces your flag risk. Security pause. If this video is helping you rethink your packing strategy, please take a quick moment and hit that subscribe button. I'm delivering the hard-earned lessons from 15 years of flying right here. Don't miss my next video. Flag risk 5, the carry-on creep, size and weight enforcement. While this isn't a security scanner flag, it's the most common reason your trip gets delayed at the gate. And gate enforcement is getting tighter in 2025. The rule we're exposing: Gate agents are now incentivized to enforce size and weight limits. Airlines are struggling with overcrowded overhead bins, which directly leads to flight delays when the crew has to spend 10 minutes trying to find space for the last 5 bags. The solution? Empowering gate agents to strictly enforce size and increasingly weight limits right before you board. If your carry-on looks visibly too big or heavy, it will be flagged. This means you will be forced to check the bag, which costs you time and potentially money, and often delays the entire flight. My anecdote. Just last month, I saw a gate agent flag a passenger who had a carry-on that looked suspiciously heavy. The passenger insisted it was fine. The agent made him put it on the scale right then and there. It was 7 pounds over the airline's carry-on limit. The passenger had to scramble to move heavy items into his already stuffed personal item bag. He missed the flight because he couldn't repack fast enough, and the bag still had to be checked. Don't think you can sneak an extra heavy bag past the gate. They are watching. Sophia's fix, pre-flight confirmation. Before you leave your home, weigh your packed carry-on. Most major airlines have an unstated weight limit of around 22 pounds, 10 kilograms, even if they don't always check. If you are close to that limit, move heavy items like books and shoes into your personal item bag, which is rarely weighed. Also, invest in a bag that is slightly smaller than the maximum allowable size. When your bag slides easily into the measurement box, the sizer, the gate agent won't even look twice. That peace of mind is worth the slight reduction in space. Flag risk 6. The cable cluster, the spaghetti monster. This is the most common reason for a search that isn't a security risk, but an identification risk, the rule we're exposing. A knotted mess of cables obscures everything around it. If you toss all your chargers, USB sticks, camera cables, and headphones into a corner of your bag, the X-ray sees a dense, metallic, and confusing mess, often called the spaghetti monster. This dense cluster of metal and plastic can completely obscure other small, dense objects next to it, which is the immediate flag. Agents often flag this because they have to verify that the mess isn't hiding a small, metallic, prohibited item, like a box cutter. Sophia's fix, organization, is opacity reduction. This is where organization is your friend. Use cable ties or small dedicated mesh bags to bundle your cables neatly. Don't just toss them in loose. The agents don't need to open your bag if they can clearly identify the contents. A neat coil of cable registers much better on the scanner than a tangled knot that obscures the entire corner of your bag. If you have several small metal items, like keys, coins, or USB drives, put them all in the same small zipper pouch that you can quickly remove for the bin. Separation and neatness are key to transparency for the scanner. Final word. Transparency is the new security. My friends, the golden rule of carry-on packing in 2025 is transparency. You need to make your bag as easy as possible for the machine to read and for the agent to verify. No density bricks, no power bank tangles, and no black holes of random junk. By implementing the layering method, using clear pouches for electronics and organic materials, and keeping your cords neat, you are giving the scanner exactly what it wants. A clear, readable image. You'll move faster, you'll be less stressed, and you won't be the one holding up the line. That's a win-win for everyone, especially me. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this video helped you understand why your bag might be getting flagged, please give it a thumbs up. That tells me this insider info is hitting the mark. And remember, I'm building this channel for you, the smart traveler. What is the one thing about flying that still confuses you? Let me know in the comments below. Your question could be my next video topic. Until next time, pack smart, fly smooth, and I'll see you in the skies.